Welcome to yet another exciting topic on this soft skills training. And we're going to be looking at working effectively in teams. This is going to be a very interesting topic. Once again, my name is Ezine Uzoije, and don't forget that you're supposed to take your pre-test before you come to this part of the training. So if you've not taken it, you can pause this training right now and go and take yours. So we're going to be looking at what a team is, who a team player is, the characteristics of an effective team player, because not everybody in a team may be effective, and the benefits of teamwork, how you can be able to actually put in teamwork into a productive outcome for anything, understanding team dynamics, and then team formation. So, what is a team? Basically, the simple definition is that a team is a group of individuals working together to achieve their goal. So, there's a popular acronym called Together Everybody Achieves More that is usually used to define a team. And that can also be adopted in this case, which means that when a group of individuals work together, they may be able to achieve a goal faster or easier. And this goal can be anything. This group of individuals can be working on a business goal for profit or on a volunteer goal, not for profit. So in different cycles, you may see teams that are set up to fulfill different things. You could see it in your religious organizations and in a lot of places at all. So teams are essential. Teams are when a group of people are grouped together to work together and work on achieving something. So who is a team player? A team player is someone that puts aside his own personal goals and then works well with others in that team, doing what he needs to do to strive for a common goal. What does this mean? That means in a team where a group of 5 people, 10 people have been put together, a, a good team player is one that understands, oh, this is the task at hand, and works with that common goal in mind. He works well with others, he makes sure he contributes his best. He puts aside his personal goals. And what do I mean by personal goals? It could be goals like wanting to be seen as the star of the team. There are people like that that want to be seen as a star, the movers, the shakers of the team. They want to be congratulated for everything that 10 people did or that 5 people did. An effective team player is one that understands it's not about me shining, it's about the job getting done in conjunction with other people. So, this is what defines a team player. Now, there are characteristics of an effective team player. So, just listen very well and let's see how many of these you can recognize in yourself or you recognize in other people. The first is an effective team player is honest and straightforward. The person does not try to lie about not meeting schedules. He's straightforward about his time constraints. If there are time constraints that are stopping him from delivering on his task or her task, he's going to be very straightforward and talk about it. So honesty and straightforwardness is a characteristic that is very important in an effective team player. The next is flexibility. Flexibility is important because there could be last minute changes that could come up when working on a project. An effective team player is flexible enough to understand that these last minute changes are not things that were just sprung up to punish him or her, but are things that, if handled very well, could still help the team to arrive at their goal. A flexible person understands not to grumble so much, but to quickly change the course of action in order to achieve the goal that is expected. An effective team player does not stay in the shadows. Now, this is a very popular thing you would see in a lot of teams. No matter how well formed that team is, there will always be 1 or 2 people that prefer not to make their voices heard, that prefer to hide in the shadows, hide behind other people. You would not even remember they're on the team, but that is not great. An effective team player is one that understands that there's no beauty in lying behind the shadows. He or she states his or her own opinions about what is going on, about what should be done better. Another one is that an effective team player shares the load. The load is anything, any task at hand that the team we need to work at and deliver on. Another one is that an effective team player is reliable, is fair to other people, complements other skills. That means if someone is good at so skill, an effective team player remembers, oh, there's no need a lot of people working at that same skill. Maybe I'm better at this other skill, and then suggest that and then uses that as a complement in order to achieve the entire team's goal. An effective team player has good communication skills. I remember we talked about communication skills initially. This means this is someone that actually listens to people, actually ensures that he communicates and the other person understands it well as well. So these are beautiful characteristics that you see in an effective team player. Another one is positive attitude. Remember we talked about positive attitude as well. Any team player at all that has a negative attitude dampens the mood of the team. Nobody actually enjoys being around that sort of a person. That positive attitude is infectious as well because it can encourage a lot of people working on the team to give in their best in order to achieve what they set out on. An effective team player is genuinely committed, not committed for the sake of having the limelight on him or her, of being recognized, but just because the person is committed towards seeing the work they set out for getting fulfilled. And an effective team player has mutual respect for everybody on the team, every other person, no matter whether the person is older or way younger. An effective team player is also a problem solver. Now, this is a very important benefit, characteristics that any team player can have, because some team players may only just be pointing out problems and never bringing solutions. An effective team player is one that understands it's not just about pointing out problems, but bringing up suggestions, bringing up solutions to solve any problem that could come up. Now, if you think about the very best team members you've worked with ever on anything, on any project, on at any work task, you will notice that they have at least 5 or 6 of these characteristics, if not all. And that's because these are characteristics that set people apart in a team. So evidently going forward, if you don't have some of these characteristics, you will need to work towards gaining some of these characteristics, work towards being someone that has these enviable characteristics, because it will make you to be the sort of person that helps teams to deliver at any work given. Now, there are benefits of teamwork. One of it is that it helps organizations to be able to achieve success, because when organizations are set up, or businesses of any size and shape, maybe they may have started with only one person at the top, but later on they will need to include lots of people. They will need people resources to be able to deliver on larger tasks, to be able to turn in a lot of money as well. And that is where they need people that work together in teams, people that work effectively in teams, to be able to deliver at such projects. So, teamwork enables organizations to achieve higher success. It also encourages communication in any team at all, at any task they're working on. There's also division of work. That means that the work does not rest just on one person, but is split amongst the members of the team. There's also better service delivery because there's a team of people, there's not just one person working at something. And in it, a great team, you see that everybody has complementary strengths. So not you will not see somebody that doesn't have so strength, and there's not someone else you will not see on that team that is complementing that other person. So there are complementary strengths that exist in a team, and this can help everybody to achieve other common goal. And there's also a wider sense of ownership amongst everybody in the team. Everybody in the team can also attribute that they are part of the success of something. They can say, oh, it's because of me that we were able to achieve this or that. So this all helps in delivering the tasks that they have at hand. Now, there's something called team dynamics, and team dynamics are those unforeseen forces or factors that influences the performance of a team. So this comes in different ways. This could be, for example, the personalities of the members of a team. For example, some members of a team are those kind of people that are naturally not outspoken. So in a meeting or in a team, they may not be the sort of persons that may bring up suggestions, that may say their own opinions. And most times you see that those people will not bring up their suggestions during a meeting, but after the meeting, they will look for like minds that did not say their own mind and have another meeting with those people. Usually, a meeting where they are complaining about why these other people that were talking could not see what they were seeing. So, these things help in team management. When you are leading a team, it's important that you understand that there are people that may be in your team that, due to their personality, are not very outspoken. And so there are strategies that you can use to encourage those sort of people to talk. And one of those strategies could be asking open-ended questions. So open-ended questions are questions that you throw it out like, what do you think we should do going forward? Is there any other suggestion? There are free questions that don't seem to have consequences attached to them. This can encourage others to talk. Or when you literally make everybody understand that, oh, you all have to say something no matter how little or how small it is. This encourages such people to speak. Another strategy is to make sure that you endeavor to make everybody understand that their opinion matters. A lot of times, people with those sort of personalities don't speak up because they don't believe that their opinion matters. Mostly because maybe they are at the lower cadre or lower rank of the team, and they feel like they don't have such they don't have a lot of responsibilities to be able to say their own opinions. But when you're able to make it clear to everybody that their own opinion matters, it can enable those people to speak out and say their mind. Also, one of the things that can influence the performance of a team is when everybody in the team feels like there must be a consensus that should be reached by everyone before they move forward. So, what do I mean by this? In a team, typically it should be the team leader that makes the final decision. And maybe if there are team leads under the team leader, then they could bring up some other key suggestions or make a lot of recommendations while every other person implements. So usually in a team, when everybody feels like, oh, we must make a suggestion, we must make recommendation, it could make the task at hand to be wasted time over. You may see that a project that should take 1 week, because everybody is being waited for to give their own suggestions, to give their own recommendation, that task could reach up to 1 month. So it's always important that whoever is leading a team understands that the final decision rests with him or her, while the consensus can be reached based on key people in the team making recommendations. Generally, in team dynamics, it's important that every member of the team understands that they can trust one another on the team. They can trust one another to deliver at the task at hand, to be able to complement their own skills, and so on and so forth. So these are what team dynamics comprises of. Now let's look at team formation. Team formation is basically the way you actually set up members that should be part of a team. And the first step to team formation is to develop a vision and a mission for the team. What is the team going to be working on? All right. So choose team members based on the skills and competencies required to achieve the vision of the team. What is the team hoping to achieve? What is the team's mission? Right? Then always make sure that you communicate that vision and mission to the team, because when you communicate it clearly, the team can be able to bear it in mind and work towards achieving that vision and mission. Appoint a leader for every team. So for instance, I'll give you an example of events. Right, I will use an event, maybe 1 day events and things like that. A team leader should be somebody that can be able to appoint people that may be under him or her as well. Maybe people that could lead certain units, and then be able to get other members under those people. Also, assign roles and responsibilities to members of a team. Any team that does not have its members understanding their roles and responsibility will not be an effective team. Most of the time, a lot of people are part of a team, but they don't even understand their usefulness or their role or what is expected of them. Ensure that once you communicate the vision and the mission of that team, what the team is supposed to achieve, what the team is supposed to work on, you make every member of the team understand their roles in that team, understand how even how little their task is, how it helps in the success of that team. Importantly, when you are doing meetings, it's important that you should set ground rules for meetings. So are there certain things you want to happen in meetings? Set it. And most times these ground rules can be set with every other person that is part of that team. Maybe you get everybody to state what they think everybody should be doing in the meeting. In this way, it makes everybody feel accountable. They feel like, oh, I suggested number two, and so I cannot be failing on number two. They also feel like it's not one person that made the rules, and so it doesn't favor them. They get to understand that everybody here decided on the ground rules, and so it favors them. But again, understand team dynamics. Understand when it's necessary for you as a team leader to set the ground rules, and when it's important for every other person to come together and set the ground rules for meetings. Then plan time for the implementation of project tasks. That's why we handled time management earlier on. It's important that you set time that is allocated for every task that is on a project. Set time for every team to understand, oh, this is how much time that they have to deliver on so tasks. This helps everybody to be at the same pace. Also, establish an agenda for correcting any behavior that is detrimental to the success of the team. If someone behaves in an unlikely manner, make sure that it's clear to everybody beforehand the consequences of such behaviors. So you can think of different things that could come up in a team, different maybe fights, maybe verbal exchange of words, a lot of things. In the case of such occurrence, what is the consequence? What does it mean for every member of the team? Set this agenda ahead of time and not after it has happened, because when you set it ahead of time, the consequences does not take anybody that defaults by surprise, but they fully understand when they are doing such actions that there are such consequences that are waiting for them at the end of that action. So I hope you've been able to understand what team formation is all about, and with this information you can be able to fully handle and manage teams going forward. Now, in conclusion, always remember that great things in business are never done by one person, they are done by a team of people. Team building, team formation, working effectively in teams is something that you get better at with experience. So, as you join teams, ensure that you are making efforts to be the effective team player. If you are made a team leader, ensure that you are a better team leader than you were the last time at something that you led. And again, remember that alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. So, we've come to the end of this session. Don't forget to go take your post test at this link, and I'll see you in the next one.